Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to another Challenger Spectate. If I don't have the oomph at the moment, I am a bit under the weather. I actually was streaming earlier, and just as a fair warning, some of the upcoming content I'm actually not on camera. But since streaming, I've had a shower and tried to like be a bit better, but yeah, I'm not feeling too well. But I need to make some content, and I want to make some content, so hopefully you guys don't mind too much. So what are we watching today? So again, we're watching a challenger player, I believe roughly about top 15 on EU West, and we're kind of asking and maybe even answering in the same video the question: is Sivir a bit too crazy since her rework? She went from basically a nothing champion, as a lot of people are aware, to then literally the pick of all picks because of the rework. And I remember like live streaming and a lot of people saying like, what did they even do? Like, they didn't seem to do much. They didn't change the champion. No. And that sometimes is the scary thing, is you don't sometimes need to do a lot. If fundamentally the champion's kit is not bad, and Sivir's has never been a bad kit, it's the scaling, it's the number side of things is sometimes what you just need to fix. And Sivir, for the longest time, wasn't a standard AD carry. She was a lethality-based AD carry. They turned her into a conventional crit AD carry, and crit is strong. And they turned her into an absolute teamfight monster. And she's been toned down. She's had nerfs, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. We've seen Sivir's not do that much in lane phase and not that much in mid game. And then you get to that late game, and then suddenly quadra kill and everything just gets melted in a teamfight. It's scary. It really is. So one thing I wanted to point out very quickly is I've laned with Sivirs who start Q. Don't start Q anymore, start W. It does honestly a lot more for you, that it's actually giving you full wave clear. It's giving you poke and harass on the enemy as well. I would say it's a little bit more distracting than the Q start. You know, the Sivir throws a Q at you. The likelihood of most Qs, you're going to get hit by one, you know, you'll get hit by the outer bit of the Q, but you're not going to get hit by both. Where the W can't avoid the bounce of an auto attack. So yeah, start W if I had to give any advice so far. So we're against a Swain. Swain, obviously, I do still think Swain is on the stronger side of balance myself. And as a Swain player, I don't mind saying that. I do think he's strong. And again, that's been another champion that's had one of these kind of like mid reworks to try and take a champion that wasn't doing too good. Keep the kit relatively the same. But try to put a bit of life into the champion, and that's really cool. I do quite like that. So it's worth mentioning the enemy team. So they have the old classic Yasuo and Diana combo. So it is one of League's, I would call, easiest combos to land. And worth mentioning, well, Sivir would have liked that. Bard also flashing, maybe didn't need to. And look at this. They were actually trying to leave the kill for Sivir, but Seraphine takes it, unfortunately. But that is part and parcel of, you know, crazy tier play or reacting play. Well, I just said the word again. My commentary might not be the best at the moment, but reacting play is very important. So the Sivir and Bard saw a play happening, and they didn't just stay bot lane. They're not just, I'm going to stay bot and farm. They react to it. They move to it, and that is what I don't mind in League. You know, I don't mind, because people say, Huz, you don't love roaming. I don't love roaming. But I wouldn't, in a weird way, consider that roaming. That, to me, was a reaction to something happening rather than a preemptive roam. When roaming is your default playstyle and you're just out of lane all the time, that's not great. But when something's going on and you're reacting to it, all power to you. That's not bad at all in my book. That missed, apparently. So it's worth mentioning one of the things with Sivir rework that was a bit weird is obviously a very classic thing of Sivir was her spell shield grants mana upon absorbing a spell, and obviously moving her away from a lethality AD carry, she doesn't need mana as much. She still wants her abilities, but it's not as crazy as it used to be. So they changed it. Her E now grants a heal. It's a mini heal. So right now, rank 1 shield, if she dodges something, it restores 51 health and triggers fleet of foot, which is her passive. And her passive is decaying movement speed. So anything, her attacks and abilities grants her movement speed. And that's kind of the thing with Sivir. It's really hard to get away from them. It's actually becoming a lot more common for them to take Ghost as well. You may have seen some AD carries take Ghost. Zeri usually is one of them. Sivir, Vayne, any of like the really high mobility movement speed based AD carries that like movement speed, yeah, a lot of them are taking Ghost. This game, Sivir's not. Honestly, I don't really know why. Maybe because she's inevitably like, I'm going to get hit by the Diana Yasuo combo. Maybe heal can save me where Ghost won't if I already get hit by it. But honestly, I wouldn't have actually thought it would have been that bad this game, because even, you know, Swain E is a potential for Yasuo, so dodging the Swaining was Ghost would be good. You know, so far she hasn't got hit by practically anything. She's doing a bait here, by the way. So that was actually not bad. She is taking a little bit too much damage. Wukong goes for the Senna. Oh, I like the idea. So she tried to flash over to bounce back over to make the Swain completely by himself, but it just wasn't enough. She did take too much damage for the bait. The thing is, though, it's still not bad. They get the Senna, and let's be honest, the Swain is also going to die. Potentially, if Sivir can get here, this is the thing. How crazy is this? She ends up with the kill. That's hilarious. That's actually a completely fine situation, because Sivir's now alive, gets a kill. Swain is still dead right now, so Sivir can return to lane like basically nothing happened. That's actually hilarious. So it's worth mentioning she's got Cull. So I've had some people always say to me, it's like, when do you buy Cull and when do you not buy Cull? So Cull is a good item if you don't think generally it's going to be the most kill-intense lane, or it's kind of also sending a message to your lane opponent going, I'm here just to kind of farm. I don't know about you, but I'm here to farm. If you want to farm, that's great, because I like to farm. Sivir, so the one thing about this player, I think they need to be a little bit more careful of the Senna, if anything. That Senna damage is not too bad at all. Because I even think in the fight just now, I think Senna was doing most damage to Sivir, not Swain. So she's returned to lane, got absolutely chunked, and now is quite low. Luckily, there's some Bard healing, but it doesn't do too much at this stage of the game. She has one health potion that she isn't even ticking right now. So potentially, unless it's bugged, it could be bugged. Let's double check it's not bugged. It'll be there and there. I think that's working. All right, so the enemy team is bullying the center away. Again, it is worth mentioning, typically in support, the worst champion as it comes to, of champion mains and stuff like that, who just roam and don't really think, are bards. Part and parcel because part of his kit is roaming. To make use of his passive well, roaming is part of it, so that's kind of why I think a lot of bards do. But a lot of them, it's what we spoke about earlier. I don't love when a support's default playstyle is roaming, or a mid laner's default playstyle is roaming. A lot of bard mains, or a lot of bard players, their default playstyle is roaming, and it could be the worst thing to do is roam, or, you know, you're winning bot lane, you want to keep in the momentum going as an AD carry, and the bard's gone. You don't want to do that. Obviously, you want to keep the pressure on, but they're gone. It's stuff like that that I do notice with bards probably more than any other support. And then obviously mid lane, we all probably know the biggest use case of the roaming mid laner. Let me know if you can guess in the comments below. As for the game itself, so I don't know if anyone noticed like a minute or two ago, the Aatrox did get ganked, but it was a 3v1, and it did take a while to kill him. It is really weird to me, and I know I'm not the only one that has mentioned this, that the balance of the game, although the game feels kind of okay at the moment, it is, if you actually kind of just think about it for a minute or two, it's quite messed up that we have bruisers building assassin items, we have assassins buying tank items, we have everybody buying Blade of the Ruined King. It's a bit all over the place, let's be honest, because yeah, that Aatrox is buying Eclipse. It's a lethality assassin item. You've got Dianas and Master Yi's and all that build. Oh, big Bard ult. So big Wukong ult. Like, Diana did go in, but you're going into a Wukong triple ult. Sivir gets a kill with a W, but overall it's going to go in the enemy team's favor because, yes, a Wukong triple ult is very nice, but ultimately you have a Diana or Diana big ulti, and you have a Swain in the middle of that too. So yeah, like that. It's good that Sivir got a kill, but ultimately it's a bit too much damage from a Diana and a Swain, and hell, even a Senna. Don't forget Senna's damage. So the Sivir doesn't want to be under tower right now because the way of Diana, the Diana can dive, and I'm pretty sure the Sivir wouldn't probably even die. So she's trying. She doesn't want to leave But she's making sure I'm still about, and when I can push back in, and hopefully we can make something happen. Seraphine is on the roam, which isn't typically the most roaming champion in the world. But I think what we're seeing here... Oh, big... Oh, she flashed Diana. We might be seeing a counter play with Rift. Maybe not now. Or it could be a counter Dragon play. Or nothing. It literally could be just nothing, apparently. Great. Also, I have a very weird... Oh, hello, enemy team. Good dodging by Sivir. Yasuo's now bot lane. Ignite by Yasuo's come down, but arguably to the wrong target. Flash also misses with his Q. Bit of a mistake by him, has to be said. And then Wukong finishes off of the Swain. Wukong is definitely overextended a bit, though, but Seraphine damage over the top with severe damage also, both on a killing spree, is Diana and Sivir. We have a bit of a weird thing right now, that my mouse doesn't want to stay on the game. Oh, there we go. It was like going off the screen anytime it wanted. So Dragon is now being done by the enemy team. I don't blame them for that. The Wukong died. He's still dead. He's spawning now. You can easily do the Dragon in time. You know, make use of when the jungler's dead. Do the objectives. So Kraken completed for the Sivir. Obviously, farm is not bad at all. But honestly, you know, normally when you go cull, as we said earlier, the language is, hey, I'm going to farm. You guys chill. I chill. Thanks. Appreciate it. That's not what's happened this game. Now, Bard is playing very aggro. Wukong's come straight over. There's the basic combo that we've always spoken about. But the Wukong fresh from the base, and the Sivir, who also is not playing to ignore what's going on, she comes over to see if she can do anything. Now, Bard E does come out. We need just some nice autos from the Sivir. Swain ulti, remember the best counter to that is walk away from it, let it reset, let it fall off. Because otherwise you're just giving him his demonic presence, and that is just going to ultimately make him keep going. The thing is, though, he's probably not strong enough yet, and he dies. So Wukong also finished off the center. So it's a crazy game, and again, that's not what this probably Sivir wants. But the good thing, and what, you know, some of the best players, and what I've always said to people, how to become good, or what, how, you know, what's the good thing within League, is don't have a game plan and just do that game plan every game. If your game plan or Sivir is, oh, I'll buy a cull and I'm just going to farm in lane, but then all these opportunities are in the match and you could go help and you could go get a double kill and you could get the Yasuo or whatever, use it. Don't be that, you know, any type of player of, I'm doing my game plan, the end, I'm never changing, done. You need to be adjustable and, you know, adjust to the game that you're in. Those are the best players. So Seraphine's build, even though you never see people buy this item, there's one reason that she's bought that, and it's that combo. So the whole point of Yasuo Diana together is literally, Diana is usually the engager. So she goes in first, she presses R, that triggers the knock up, that gives you Yasuo ultimate, and then, meanwhile gank obviously is happening in bot lane, by the way, that then triggers Yasuo ultimate. And by the time the Yasuo is CCing you, the Diana Moon then can land on your face, and then you take all the damage in the world. In the time that you get ulted and all that stuff by that, you are going to be blocking a lot of that initial burst damage. Now, Wukong, obviously, as a champion, maybe we need to cover him in one of these videos. He's a very strong champion too. Now, why is Wukong typically very strong? Well, again, his balance as a champion himself is also really good, and it's not weak right now. But a lot of the really strong champions in League currently, in my opinion, are a lot of them seem to be based on items, is the unfortunate thing. And I've always, like, for the last couple of years, always been like, I wish items or I wish other things aren't the deciding factor. I wish the champion was always the most important thing, part of a player's arsenal of being strong or weak. The champion to me is the biggest thing. But in modern day League, oh, Sivir, that's too much stuff. The thing with modern day League is the items are making the difference most of the time. So Divine Sunderer is pretty damn strong right now. Death's Dance is really strong right now. Both of those Wukong can buy. More Malmortius is still really strong. Those three items Wukong can buy. He's not typically, obviously, a Blade of the Ruined King user, so you won't really see him take that. And although that item is strong, he doesn't really go for that. Gore Drinker, also a not bad item. I have seen some Wukongs do that, but Divine is much better for snowballing for your damage. And hell, even this item, people have kind of... I was sleeping on this item for a long time. So, Chempunk Chainsword, apparently, and why you're seeing Hecarims rush this item and stuff like that, and Pantheons rush this item, is it's very cost effective. And it's weird because it's an anti-healing item, but typically people aren't even buying it for its anti-heal. People just think it's really good in the stats that it gives for the cost. You know, even without the anti-heal, it's just very good. And it's actually a very good first or second item to kind of keep your damage going for an okay priced item. All right, so, ooh, wait, that missed. Okay. Oh, was that a wind wall that blocked that? That was really weird. That looked like a great combo, but I think Yasuo wind wall actually might have stopped it. Just Seraphine ulti, it has like the animation where it's going to go maybe before, and then it's traveling. And yeah, it just didn't get there, obviously, because of the wind wall. But yeah, very aggressive game. Good so far performance for the Sivir, just a solid one. Hasn't completed Cole yet, wants to maybe after this minion wave. Damage output, you can see, is starting to get there. Swain is feeling obviously threatened, so he ults. He was losing that fight quite convincingly, but with the ultimate, he might have been able to turn it around. So Sivir does the smart thing, in my opinion, of I'm just going to leave. Sivir doesn't want to go back right now as well, even though she's low, because it's one minion from Cole completion. That has been Dragon Spawn, though, but you can actually see Yasuo and Diana top lane. That's really bad, honestly, from them. It's just reminding people that there's no duo queue, in theory, at this rating. This is Challenger. And the reason why I say in theory, duo queue still does happen. And some people may be a bit like, huh? So how does duo queue happen in Challenger? I mean, it's very easy for Challenger players to coordinate to get into the same match. It just depends if you get on the same team. Why? Depending when they play this game, but let's say you just randomly, you have a friend in Challenger and you want to be in the same game as the other player. Diana, desperate to try and get on the Sivir, gets the ulti, flashes for the Bard, does get the Bard, wow. But yeah, say you have a friend in Challenger, you both want to make sure, you know, let's play games together, and you go, right, let's play at 2 a.m. Nice cue by Sivir, good confidence there. Let's play at 2 a.m. where the least players play in the week. So yeah, hardly anybody's going to be there. And we're Challenger players, so even less players are there. You'll get in the same match. That's the thing. If you're two Challenger players in the same LP bracket in Challenger, you're playing at 2 a.m. in the middle of the week, you queue up at the same time, you're going to be in the same game as each other. Again, whether you're on the same team or not, that's the thing. So that's just the point to make when people go, you know, oh, above Master, yeah, they can't duo. You can never duo. You can. It's just half the time you might be on the enemy team from each other, and sometimes you'll be on the same team. So fight does happen. Unfortunately, Sivir doesn't finish off the Senna. They're now looking for a forward momentum onto the Gnar. Unfortunate queue for the Bard. Triple stun by the Gnar, but that is going to be it. You can see Sivir damage, obviously quite spicy and nice. It's worth knowing this is the standard build for Sivir, so it's Kraken into Phantom Dancer. I think it's just kind of, it gives you the most DPS, and ultimately Sivir now is a DPS based champion, damage per second. You want to maximize that rather than your burst, and this just gives you the most DPS. It also gives you a bit of survivability, because obviously if you're going Kraken, that means you're not going shield bow, so having the Bloodthirster enables you to have the extra movement speed, and has the spectral, or grants ghosting and 7% movement speed, blah blah blah. And what that is ghosted units ignore unit collision, so you're not getting stuck on minions, and that is survivability in like partially anyway. Obviously the item used to give a shield, but it doesn't give a shield anymore. But it also, obviously, it's giving you crit. And as the third item for Sivir typically is, yeah, Infinity Edge. Now this Sivir, I will say, you know, she is a movement speed based champion. Why isn't she gone tier 2 boots yet? I will say it's a little bit weird, but also kind of not. What I mean by that is, look at the enemy comp, and only one of their champions doesn't have to go in melee range to do anything. So they have to come to you. Like, that's the type of thing that if Sivir had tier 2 boots there, maybe she could have caught the Swain and killed the Swain. Yeah. But 4 out of the 5 of the enemy team have to go to Sivir to kill her. So they are actively coming to you. You don't need all the movement speed if you know they're coming to you. If you're fed, I will say, if you're not doing so well, you do want that movement speed sometimes to get away from the enemy team. They are looking for the Gnar. Again, Gnar is a weird one in my opinion. Like, Gnar, I do see quite a lot of them, but he's weird. Like, I don't know. Like, he's a good champion, kinda, but I don't know why he's so, well, he's popular, I think, because he's supposedly he's safe. because, you know, he's a ranged, half-ranged champion. Ooh, the Senna got the Sivir. Bet the Yasuo won't be happy about that because that was a 1,000 gold bounty. Bit of overstay happening now. What can Aatrox do? The Yasuo at the time was 0-4. He's now 1-4. Wukong returning and then kills off the Yasuo. A bit of overconfidence has to be said by the Yasuo. Nice combo by the Aatrox. There's the one thing, I've never clicked much with the latest Aatrox. I can't say new Aatrox anymore. But when you see one pull it off really well, and obviously I do recognize that guy is Odowamne or whatever the hell. He's a pro. I do know that. He's Nars gonna just get bullied and flash away. It's very cool when you see an Aatrox land a full combo combining with the chain bounce back and timing things well. It's definitely a skill, there's no doubt. So now on that overstaying, arguably, but potentially so is Aatrox and Wukong. They will finish off, I'm sure, the Gnar pretty quickly. But will they get killed for it? The enemy team didn't advance forward because the Seraphine TP'd. It's a confident Seraphine TP. She TP'd in the middle, and now Baron has been started. Tier 2 boots acquired for Sivir, and some people may question, why does she still have Cull? What's up with that? If you don't need to sell the Cull, there's no need to. You know, if you need the little bit extra gold from selling it to buy your next big item, then do it 100%. There's the big Yasuo combo, by the way. So unfortunately, the Diana damage doesn't land, but the big Yasuo does. But both of them, or the Yasuo especially not being too strong, just doesn't have that big. But you can see how easy it was for them to land. What was that, like a 4-man ulti? So that was a 4-man Diana ulti and a 4-man Yasuo ulti. That's why I would call it one of the easiest combos in League. It's very strong. Oh. Surrender vote by the enemy team. So this is, again, a little bit of a quick one because obviously I'm not feeling too well. But Sivir, since a rework, is she too strong? Now, it's worth mentioning the Wukong also did fantastic. We can't hide from that. And we all know, I think, Wukong is nuts. But Sivir, not typically an absolute lane bully, nor is Swain, has to be said. But finishes 9-11 and ends a lot of, you know, the kills that she got. A lot of it was... It's not obvious that she's getting kills because it's hitting the Q and the autos within minion waves, and those travel and get you more kills. You know, when you're hitting enemy champions, those bounce between enemy champions, and the DPS is very high, and all of those can crit. That's the kind of big thing. Every single ricochet and everything can ping pong, everything can crit. So it just does so much damage when you actually maximize your crit. It's nuts. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, please do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw us a subscribe. And yeah, hope you're all doing well. And I will see you guys very soon. Enjoy the videos and all that stuff. Goodbye.